talking about, bro? Get the off my podcast. I hate to
It's
cut
going to
you
come
off,
from
but I have a guest here that wants to come in, and he actually has some thoughts about this heavyweight match. So I'm gonna let him speak his mind here.
Oh,
So
okay.
my heavyweight prediction, I gotta go with Christian Carroll, Wyoming, out of Wyoming. I don't think younger Bastida is gonna win it all. Penn State is on top, even if Bastida does have a good NCAA tourney. He's not gonna beat Minnesota.
Bro, get off my podcast. Get off my bro. You don't know what you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. Get the off my podcast. Get the off my podcast. Get the off my podcast. I don't know what
Ladies
the
and
fuck
gentlemen, this
you're
is why
talking
you
about.
join into Beyond the Mats,
Oh
because
shit. You
you get
don't
action
know.
beyond the mats.
Christian Carroll's gonna win. Christian Carroll's gonna win. Yeah. Get the out of here. What is going on, everyone? This is Beyond the Mat Wrestling, and today we got Big 12 bracket predictions. We're here with Cowboy Brian, who's actually going to be at the Big 12 championships, getting interviews, getting some behind the scenes action. So super happy to have you on, Brian. And we actually did this yesterday. So and the video it got messed up and whatnot. So I'm happy that you hopped on again, and we're doing this the second time.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me. I don't mind doing it another time over. I mean, more wrestling talk is, that's a bonus for me. So
Heck yeah. 100%. We actually had Kevin yesterday, and Kevin's got some stuff going on today, so he may pop on at some point here. So if you see Kevin pop on, don't be surprised. But let's just start at 125 here. This is a super tough weight class. What's your thoughts, Brian?
man, I'm really digging the 125 bracket. Spratley, of course, will be my pick for it, but there's some tough dudes in here. You can't sleep on some of these guys. The him having the number one seed, I wasn't entirely surprised by that. With Poulin having the number two seed, I feel like that's going to be, that's going to run chalk. But I think there's some interesting matches to be had here. Jet Strickenberger, for example. You never know which guy you're going to get with him. Like some days he's a killer, he's an assassin, and other days he's just kind of not. So,
Yeah.
he's beaten Spratley before. Spratley's beaten him. And then I'm pretty sure he turned around and wrestled Poulin and got majored. But anyway, there are some tough guys in this bracket. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Strickenberg is one of those guys that is affected by that weight cut sometimes. So I think if he is going to be able to have some more time off the scales, he's going to have Valdez from Northern Colorado, have Witt from North Dakota State. So I think what I'm trying to say is I think he will have some time before he has Poole in there in the semis. So I think we may see a better Strickenberger than what we've seen, coming off the scale in, an hour, 2 hours there. I think that's one of his biggest thing that holds him back is that weight cut. He's a huge 25 pounder, and if he gets that weight cut right, I think he can really, really win this weight class. Again, he's beat Spratley before. He's not my pick, but it wouldn't absolutely shock me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's move on to 33 here. Again, this is one of those weights that are so freaking loaded. You just look at those top four guys with Forrest, with Frost, with Larkin, Serrano. Like those are some absolute killers. And truly. Again, I think this is one of those weights again that I see going chalk, but it wouldn't absolutely shock me if Larkin maybe beat Frost. I really do see Forrest winning it, but I think Frost is super tough, and Larkin is definitely he's got that same type of style as Forrest, where Funky kind of goes out there and sends it. So I would really love to see that matchup.
Yeah, and with Larkin, he had an injury, and we haven't got to see a whole lot of him this year. I'm excited for that matchup. I think if Larkin gets by Farber and Poulin, which Farber, that dude's tough. Like I know, he faced Jax Force in one of the opens, and Jax Tech faulted him, but Julian Farber is a tough dude, and he could pull a potential upset. So, I don't sleep on any of these guys, but especially him. If Larkin gets past Frost, I think it's going to be Forrest and Larkin in the finals. And dude, that's going to be holy crap! I'll probably try to be Matt's side for that one because that would be insane.
Yeah, nah, dude. If you could get some behind the scenes with Forrest or Frost or Lark in that match in general, I'm all about trying to edit some of that up and make something cool out of that. So be on the lookout for that. But let's move on to 41 here. It's a tough weight class. You got Vega, who I think you could definitely talk more on him and what he's done this year. But I think this weight class is tough, right? Echemandia at the two, you got
Yeah.
Drury at the three, who's also tough, and then Julian Tagg's a sleeper. He's beaten some really good guys in the past, and then again, you got Pearson Manville and Jordan Titus in there. Like this is just a super stacked weight class, and I probably do see it going chalk with Vega and Echemandia in the finals. But it wouldn't shock me if um, like I said, any of those guys I just mentioned possibly pull an upset.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You hit it on the head. I mean, this weight is so stacked, even in as a Big 12 bracket. Like these brackets look amazing this year. Vega, I feel like is he's my pick. He's my pick to pull it off. It's probably going to go chalk, but there's so many. What is there? You got, I mean, Manville, Drury, Wells. Like if these guys show up and they're hitting on all cylinders, they can pull an upset, man. And
Yeah.
uh, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to be getting behind the scenes stuff when you got stuff like this going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. Jesse Vasquez at the eight. I mean, Vasquez is a freaking killer. And obviously, I'm sure he's dealt with a bunch of different stuff with, Cal Baptist program and whatnot. But um, that just shows you how deep the Big 12s are when Jesse Vasquez is the freaking eight seed.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's move on to 49.
Yeah.
And I think you could talk more on this, Brian, because I really don't have the insight like you do. But we haven't seen Swiderski recently, and Swiderski would be my pick, kind of going away here. I think Frost obviously is super tough. There's some other guys in this bracket. David Evans, Rotgens are tough. Alec Martin's an Ohio boy. Willis Shell is also tough. But what's going on with Swiderski?
So, Swiderski, as you guys know, is last year. He had a knee injury and had to have surgery and had to sit the year out. So after the Iowa State duel, something happened in the match, and it didn't per se injure him, but the way it was put was it tweaked his knee. And so he took some time off to rest up and make sure he was good and healed and 100%. At the Iowa duel, he was actually set to wrestle block, and it was literally like a last second thing. They decided to give him an extra week before the Big 12s to make sure that he gets good and healed up. So it wasn't an injury so much more as it was a tweak, and they were just being proactive. That's the way
Gotcha.
I understand it. Now,
Gotcha.
my pick is absolutely Swiderski. I've got a feeling about Swiderski. Don't get me wrong. Like I know Jacob Frost is a bad dude. There's a bunch of bad dudes in here, um, but I got a feeling about Swiderski. It was after the Bader show. Some of the things he said, some of the energy and attitude I was getting from him. I have a feeling he is out to make a statement this year. So I think particularly in this tournament and the NCAA tournament, I think he's going to turn heads.
100%. Something I just want to say real quick, Brian, just because I don't want the rest of these clips to get messed up. Is there any way you could have the camera like a little bit more like facing like on your body? Because it's just like kind of your head right now. Is there any way to like
See if
push
I
the
can.
camera? Or yeah, you scoot back, one of the two. So I just don't want some of these clips to get messed up.
Sure.
Sorry, I know that's random, not wrestling talk at
No,
all, guys.
no,
I'm sorry.
not at
Um,
all.
but
Is
no,
that
I
better?
agree. I think yes, no, that is better. I just
You have
I
to
was getting
forgive me, man. I get leaning into my can or my laptop, and I'm.
No, you're all good. You're all good. But no, I agree. I see this way kind of going chocolate. We said before, Swiderski would be my pick, but there is some other killers in there. Willis is tough. Again, Alec Martin is super tough. David Evans from Utah
David
Valley.
Evans.
There's a bunch of killers in there. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's move on to 57. Um, we got Larkin at the one. We looked at these last night, and honestly, I forgot Larkin was at the one. But I guess it maybe doesn't shock me. I probably would have put Robidoux at the one, but Larkin, I guess, doesn't shock me. What are your thoughts on that? This is a killer. This is a
So
killer weight class. Zerbin,
yeah,
Waters, Drexler is at the
dude,
five.
this is one of the best weights, period, but definitely in the Big 12. So I was a little, I wasn't caught off guard that Larkin was one and Robidoux was two, but I was expecting Robidoux to have the one. And I think the reason Larkin got the one is because, so in their, they haven't wrestled each other. Uh, Figs wrestled him before he bumped up when Oklahoma State wrestled Arizona. So their common opponents are the same, except Robidoux, he outscored on those same opponents. However, Larkin faced Waters. Waters didn't wrestle when Oklahoma State wrestled West Virginia. And I think because of that, that's why he got the one spot, which is completely understandable. I get it. It doesn't matter really top or bottom side of this bracket. There's some tough dudes in here.
100.
Robidoux getting Teague, in his first match. We just watched that happen at the duel. Teague is tough, man. He's a tough dude, former Cowboy. That's going to be a good match. I think Robidoux beat him like 4-1 or 5-1, something like that.
Yeah,
And then on the other end, we have a potential rematch of Ty Waters and Caleb Larkin, but I don't want to sleep on anybody else because you got Vinny Zerban in there, and he is such an unorthodox wrestler, man. I got to watch him wrestle live at the Iowa State duel, and he lost the match, but just some of the things that he did was just, it was like, those were the things that when I was 5 and 6 years old, my coaches were like, don't do that. And somehow Zerban has figured out a way to make it work.
yeah. Some of these guys are fun to watch wrestle. I really like watching Ty Waters. Again, Larkin's one of those guys. Both the Larkin brothers are really fun to watch wrestle. And this is a super stacked weight class. Again, like you said, this was probably the best Big 12 bracket. I mean, when you see a guy like Teague Travis, when you see a guy like Drexler at the 5 and the 7, Drexler's a returning All-American. Um, some of these guys are super tough to be and seated that low, especially at a conference like Big 12, where sometimes, not that Big 12 gets slept on, but a lot of people talk about Big Tens, right? Where
Right,
Big 12 is
right,
just
right.
showing that they got some of the best guys in the game. Let's
Yeah,
move on to
yeah.
65 here. Unless you got something else. You got something?
No, I'm good. I would just add that don't be surprised if there's some upsets in that bracket.
100%. 100%. That's upset central, I think, there. And let's get into 65. Ladarian Lockett's the one, Ryder Downey's the two, Ruiz the three, Max Mayfield the four. Connor Ewan's tough at the five. I was
Yeah.
just looking at some. Oh, Peyton Keller. Peyton Keller hasn't had the year he's wanted. He was an All-American out of Ohio. He's a tough dude. Really, really tough cat. Not who I would have picked to have my first round match against. What are your thoughts on
Absolutely.
this?
So I fully expected D to get the one spot. I do want to say though that I got to watch Peyton Keller wrestle at the Bedlam duel, and that dude is, he's tough. He's a go getter. And here's another thing. I said this last night. And I'm going to say it again because he deserves it. Connor Uten. The thing I like about Connor Uten, doesn't matter if he's down by 14 points. He is going to stand in the middle of that mat and he's going to keep coming at you. And
Yeah.
that is something that I love about that guy. He doesn't hang out on the edge. He doesn't do any of that. He stays right in your face and keeps coming. And I love that about him. However, you hit the nail on the head when you said having Peyton Keller as a first round match is a problem. That dude is really, really tough. And don't get me wrong, I know Ruiz is a bad dude too, but that's kind of unlucky to pull Keller as your first one. Downey being the number 2 seed, man. Downey's short of Caliendo. Downey, I think, has given Lockett his best match. Lockett pulled that win off with like 8 seconds left on the clock. So I think this one, the way I see it, is going to go chalk. And I think we're going to see a rematch of that. But I think we're going to see a different D Lockett at the conference.
For sure. For sure. I think this weight's kind of hard to predict. If I had to predict it, D's probably my pick, but excuse me, I do think Ruiz could definitely get the job done. Downey's super tough. Peyton Keller he's a proven commodity. He's done it before. So I'm excited to watch this one 100%. Let's move
Yeah.
on to 74. We got Facundo at the one, Schubert at the two. You got Gaetan in there. You got Steve. You got Jared Sima, who hasn't had a super long year, I guess, but he's a former round of 12. You got even Kel Valencia at the 8. This is a tough weight class. What are your thoughts on this?
So Facundo at the 1, I like that. Here's what I don't want to get hung up just because I'm Cowboy Brian doesn't mean that I'm not a realist. You know what I mean? Like I'm supporting these guys, but I'm also very aware that guys like Cam Steed are in this bracket, and Cam Steed is a bad dude. I think the last time he faced Facundo, it was like a 2-1 match in overtime or something like that. So
Right.
even though Schubert has the number 2 seed, I actually my pick is that Steed gets past him.
Right.
Now I watched Facundo and Schubert at Bedlam, and it was a good match. It was like a one takedown thing. However, my call on this one is to have Facundo in the finals, likely against Cam Steed. Um, but for good upsets, man, like Sima's a tough guy. MJ Gaitan is a tough guy when he's hitting on all cylinders. Kale Valencia is a tough guy. I mean, this is another good bracket. It may not be quite as impressive as the 157, but I like this. I like Facundo's path here.
Yeah, again, this is a super loaded weight class, and I think Facundo would be my pick coming out of that top half. But again, Gaetan's that Sima's tough. In that bottom half, Brody Conley's tough. I mean, he was a couple-time Ohio State champ. I believe he was an Ironman champ. Some of these dudes are super, super legit, and they definitely have it. They just haven't maybe had the season that they've wanted. But it doesn't mean that they can't turn it on when it matters here. So I'm looking forward to watching this one as well. Let's move
Yeah,
on to 84. This is again kind of how we talked about. I think this is again one of the deeper brackets, if not probably the second deepest bracket in my opinion. Sinclair is a freaking killer. Zach Ryder's a killer. I think you're gonna see Nietenbach be an All-American even in this deep weight class this year. Like I'm super super high on Nietenbach. He's a redshirt freshman.
yeah.
He's super legit. You got Saldano, who is a Super 32 champ. Isaac Dean's a savage. You just got some killers in this way that I think if I had to predict it, I think Sinclair gets the job done, probably going away. But I'm excited to watch Nietenbach. I'm excited to watch Riders and him. So, what are your thoughts? Am I talking crazy with saying Sinclair takes it?
Well, I mean, I'm a little offended that you didn't pick my, Zach Ryder, the Cowboys. Like, why you bring me on this show if you just? No, I'm just kidding. Um, so no, I actually I think Sinclair's going to pull it off. Zach is going to have to he's going to have everything together. I mean, do you see that path? I mean, he's got to get through Isaac Dean. He's got to get through Saldano, and I was there for the Saldano match, and he came out and he put Saldano down. I think it was by like 10 he had, and in the third period he made one mistake, and the next thing you know, he's on his back, and it's instead of a 10-point match, it's like a 4-point match now
Yeah,
and Saldana run out of time. But that dude don't quit, and he's tough as can be. So I think for Ryder to make it to the finals, he's gonna have to put together 7 hard minutes multiple times and make everything click.
100%. I really like this Nietenbach from Wyoming. He's a
Yeah,
young kid. He took Fishback to overtime earlier in the year at national duels. He's just a really tough competitor, and I'm super high on him. So I'm not necessarily picking him to win it, but I think that this is the type of dude that is going to be, probably minimum a three-time All-American, and we're going to be talking about him as a title contender here, possibly in a couple of years. I know this is a super deep weight class, but that's what
yeah.
I truly am that high on him. I think he's a really good competitor. Let's move on to 97
Well,
here. We got Elam at the 1. We got Novak at the 2. We got Merrill at the 3. Berge at the 4. DJ Parker at the 5. Again, like this is a tough weight class. Rune Lawrence at the 7. What are your thoughts here, Brian?
oh, so I'll after seeing Merrill versus Elam. First of all, I didn't know Elam was that big. Like he is so tall, like so freaking tall.
Yeah, he
Um,
is.
But after seeing Merrill go toe to toe with Elam, I am convinced that if he can put together an offense, man, even just a mediocre one, he can hang with these guys. He can't do it just on defense, but if he can put together an offense, he can absolutely go toe to toe with Elam, with Novak, with any of them. I'm not upset with him being the 3 seed. That actually makes sense. I mean, Novak is a bad dude too. I'm pretty high on that guy. I like him. DJ Parker, I got to watch that match between him and Merrill, and it was an interesting match, kind of like the Elam match where there were some shots back and forth.
Yeah.
Parker's a tough guy though. He didn't quit. I mean, he kept wrestling all the way through. This one's stacked. I would say that Merrill is definitely going to have to be on his A game. He's going to have to put together an offense if he wants any chance at getting to those finals.
100%. Elam's one of those guys that's super tough. He had a medical red shirt last year. But again, this weight is stacked. DJ Parker is tough. He's been smaller in the past. I think like more of a 74, 84. Same with Bergie. I think more of like an 84 guy. But he's a returning All-American. I don't know if it was 1 year ago, 2 years ago, but he was a pretty high All-American, I think. Like fifth place, somewhere in there, third, fifth place. And again, just one of those guys that maybe haven't had the season that they necessarily want or can have, but it doesn't mean that they can't turn it on here at the Big 12s and they can't get a big win over, again, not my pick, but possibly an Elam, possibly, Merrill maybe beating Novak or I don't think that's as big of an upset, but you get what I'm saying here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Weight class with some killers, and I think that if there was an upset, it wouldn't absolutely shock me here. So all right, let's move on to heavyweight. In my opinion, this is one of the more cut and dry weight classes here. You got Bastida at the 1, you got Doucette at the 2, Christian Carroll at the 3. I think for me, this is kind of Bastida next question. And I don't mean to say that in a bad way to Doucette. Doucette's super tough, but I think Bastida is just on another level this year.
Yeah, so seeing Bastida versus Doucette in person, I mean, Doucette made one mistake and Bastida got the takedown.
Yeah.
And he beat him 4-2. However, as much as I want to see the Cowboys, have 10 guys in the finals, I do want to mention a former Cowboy, Christian Carroll. Depending on which Christian Carroll we get, if there's going to be an upset, it's going to come from him.
I hate to
it's going to come from him.
Well, I have a guest here that wants to come in, and he actually has some thoughts about this heavyweight match. So I'm gonna let him speak his mind here.
So
okay.
My heavyweight prediction, I gotta go with Christian Carroll, Wyoming, out of Wyoming. I don't think younger Bastida is gonna win it all. Penn State is on top, even if Bastida does have a good NCAA tourney. He's not gonna beat Mirasola.
Bro, get off my podcast. Get off my bro. You don't know what you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. Get the fuck off my podcast. Get the fuck off my podcast. Get the fuck off my podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you join into Beyond the Mats, because you get action beyond the mats.
Christian Carroll's gonna win. Christian Carroll's gonna win. Yeah. Get the out of here.
I love it.
But no, guys.
Hey man, I've got a wrestling mat that I'm gonna pay to send to you to put out in the living room for that right there. When people want to oppose you, you guys just scrap it out. The winner's right.
Exactly, dude. Christian Carroll's not winning it. That dude doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. Not a chance in a million years is Christian Carroll winning. No way. But no, man, this was awesome. I was happy to do this, Brian, and hopefully I don't look stupid picking Bastida. Hopefully it makes you proud here.
No. I think you're right. I mean, Bastida's been very impressive. However, he could break a fingernail or something. I mean, it could happen. I'm just saying.
That is absolutely correct.
Christian Carroll, though, I will say, man, like when that dude's on, he is a killer. He's
tough. That is no disrespect to Christian Carroll. That was just a joke, obviously. But
just a skit, yeah.
If you the video, make sure you drop a like, sub, drop a comment, what you guys liked, what you didn't like. We're also doing EIWA. We're doing the ACCs. I'm also doing Big Times with Jake Manley. So if you guys are interested in checking out some of those other conference predictions, they will be uploaded. And Brian, again, I appreciate you having you on, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me. I do want to say one more thing. I am going to be at the Big 12 tournaments. I'm going to be circulating, trying to get with some fans. So if you see me, come and give Beyond the Mat and Cole here a shout out. We'll take some pictures, some videos, have a good time.
Heck yeah, sweet.